Life with Ben, only on PTV.
I'm looking on Google here for the best donuts in Oakland. And of the top 4 hits that I'm seeing here, the number 1 has a rating of 4.8. And it's a place called Vegan Donuts Gelato. I'm sorry, but vegan and pastries don't go together for me. I'm a big believer in what Jim Gaffigan says, and that is that vegan donuts are a cruel trick on a kid. So we're skipping the vegan donut place altogether. We're going with the other donut places in Oakland here that rank in the top 3. And that would be Golden Gate Donuts, Colonial Donuts, and Donut Savant. I did an episode last year around this time of year on Donut Savant. I'm a big believer in them, but I'm also a big believer in other small donut shops around the city. Everyone does donuts differently. They also have different packaging. I mean, here's Donut Savant, and followed by Colonial Donuts, which has a label on it that looks just like their logo inside their store. And then Golden Gate Donuts can't even be bothered with a logo. But then again, I just got a bag. I don't know if they slap anything on their boxes. I'm gonna divvy up the donuts here so I can taste them in order of style. I'm basing my choices on what I could find at Donut Savant. Anything similar at Golden Gate Donuts and Colonial were based on what I could find at Donut Savant. Just like the donut packaging that I got from each store, each one presents a different type of donut style. I went with a glazed raised, which you can find at both Golden Gate Donuts and Colonial Donuts, whereas Donut Savant has a raised glazed bar. I also went with a cream-filled donut, in this case, a chocolate bar. And then to round out my options, I went with a traditional apple fritter. I'm gonna start with the glazed raised. This was the donut that I kind of grew up on as a kid. This is from Golden Gate Donuts. Next is from Colonial. They look very similar, the Golden Gate Donuts and the Colonial. Now I'm going to try the Donut Savant. The Golden Gate Glazed Raised was exactly what I expected. It's light and airy and tasted just like a traditional glazed donut. The Colonial Donut is a little cakier than the Golden Gate Donut, which is not a bad thing, just different frying style, I guess. And then the Donut Savant was very cakey and did have a vanilla flavor to it that was not necessarily recognizable in the other 2 donuts. They're all really good donuts by themselves. But when I want a glazed raised donut, I know exactly what I'm looking for. And in this case, I would choose the Golden Gate Donut. My next round of donuts is going to be, I think, my favorite for very, very obvious reasons. I love cream-filled donuts. The first is the Golden Gate Donut. This Golden Gate Donut looks a little squished, and that's because it was really warm when it was given to me this morning. The shell of the donut was taken to the back and the cream was inserted right there in the store. I didn't get something from under the cabinet that was already filled like these other 2 donuts, because they had just finished these and they were still warm and fresh. So let's go ahead and try the Golden Gate cream-filled chocolate bar. Oh, I love a cream-filled donut. Next, we're going to go with the Colonial. Excuse me while I have a moment. These are so good. And now I'm going to try the Donut Savant. Just looking for the cream-filled place so I can actually get cream with the bite like I did on the other two. Oh, each of these cream-filled donuts is, for me, is a work of art. While the Golden Gate looked all squishy and all that, the flavor was there and it was just spot on what I would expect. The Colonial Donuts chocolate bar, really, really heavy on the cream on the inside, which was delicious. And the Donut Savant, which is the smallest of the three, probably had the most flavor. The simple texture of the donut, the sweet and creaminess of the cream inside the donut, and the chocolate coating, which isn't too sweet, all work really well together to make this my pick for the cream-filled donuts. So that one goes to Donut Savant. And last but not least are the apple fritters. I'm a sucker for an apple fritter. If you look at the size of the one from Golden Gate Donuts compared to an appropriate portioned apple fritter from Donut Savant, it's kind of crazy stupid. But I'm here not to base it on size or quantity, but on flavor. So I'm going to try the Golden Gate Donut apple fritter first. That's a really good, solid apple fritter. That is delicious. Next up is the Colonial apple fritter. That's really good. And then the final in the apple fritters is from Donut Savant. The Donut Savant apple fritter is downright delicious. The Colonial Donut apple fritter, spot on great. And the Golden Gate Donuts apple fritter, it's also a taste experience. But based on what I want from an apple fritter, and this is just my own opinion, everyone has their own taste, which is why there are so many different donut shops around, I would have to go with the Colonial Donut apple fritter. I've gotten this one for I don't know how long. I mean, I used to go to Colonial Donuts when I was in college on late night runs at midnight when the donuts were coming out fresh. This is a solid apple fritter. That's a lot of sugar. Colonial Donuts has been around since 1969, Donut Savant since 2012. I couldn't find out when Golden Gate Donuts came into existence, but it's got to be somewhere along the lines as Colonial, because it's also an Oakland institution. All three donut places have their own attributes. All three are delicious. And I would go with any of these for any solid choice for a donut. This cream-filled donut from Donut Savant, it's actually called the Boston Cream. So good. Colonial Donuts is open 24 hours. Golden Gate Donuts is open from like 5 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. Donut Savant is the only place that does specialty donuts, and it's a very, very tight, limited schedule. Wednesday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. So good for them for being able to present their solid menu in a short amount of time and still be able to run a business that way. They are definitely delicious. All three of these places are delicious. If you're in Oakland, try them all. Remember, adventure is out there.